Hello, hello, everyone out there. Welcome back. So, I have decided to start posting more videos on here lately because I realized that, when I don't post as much content, because I have different pages between Instagram, between TikTok, between all of this stuff. It just, it makes you feel disconnected from the world. So, I'm going to start posting a little bit more on here. And you know what? Listen, if the messages that I tell you don't resonate with you at the time, it doesn't mean that this isn't something that's going to come to you in the future. So always keep that in mind. And sometimes it may not be the message that you want to hear, but it's always the message that you need to hear. Okay? So let's start with our messages from Spirit deck. I love this deck. It just gives us a nice message from Spirit of what they have to say. Cleanse. Your body, mind, and soul are urging you to take time out for some much needed cleansing. Just as you wash your car, clean the house, or tidy your office, your body also needs care and attention. It's time for some spiritual, emotional, and physical cleansing. That's a beautiful message to have because, just turn that over because we gotta hide that for the goodies. What I'm getting off of that message is, it's not just about saging. It's an actual physical cleanse, like a place that you go where you know that you could leave all of your negative energy behind and you're not going to take it with you. And, today I watched a video and I saw these dolphins jumping around in the water over at Robert Moses Field 5, which if you live on Long Island, you know Robert Moses Beach. But if you don't, and you live near water, whether it be a lake or a pond or an ocean, wherever it is, I feel like some of you need to go to the ocean, stand out and look out over a big body of water and just, throw your energy out there so that it's transmuted back into the earth to be something positive. All right, that's what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. And also I'm going to take, some inspiration from that video that I saw today because it means something. It means that you need to go out there, squish your feet into the sand or the grass or the dirt or whatever it is, whatever is going to make you feel like you're connected to something else other than what you've been connecting to with the other people around you, other people's energy. I need you to really pull yourself inside your protective shell of white light. And if you don't have one of those, you can create one. You can just say, create a protective force field of white light around me and keep me safeguarded throughout the day, whatever. I got my computer over here, so I'm trying to keep it, it's a funky little setup over here. It's, but we're all good. All right, so let's get into a little bit more with that. So that's what Spirit's advice is. Where should we go next? All right, so let's see. We'll start with a little bit more before we pull from the tarot. Let's see. What do we have here? This is a video. This is a reading about what their intentions are for you, for Sagittarius. New life. Wow. Okay, new life. I don't know why they're upside down, but we don't read reversals in this deck. It's an unfinished symphony. Wow. Okay, and this also has this over here, which is coming up with loves. And you have unfinished symphony. And you also have new life right here, these cards here. So this is a breath of fresh air being breathed into a relationship that was just put on pause. And it's a 10, so 10s usually mean endings, but for me they also mean new beginnings. Where, I mean, if you look at this card, you see how like the piano is going like really far down out there. There's really no beginning and there's no ending. So for me, it kind of feels like this is a relationship that had a beginning, but you're kind of like stuck right there in the middle of this. You don't know, am I going back to square one to start with someone else, or am I moving down to meet up with this person? But see here the thing, if you go look closely at this little egg, you see the face that's in that little sphere that's there, the face that's there? That indicates to me that this person has been there with you this entire time. Like they've always been with you. Whether it be not with you together, but with you in your mind, your body, and your soul. They've always been right with you. They've been part of this foundation. So the two of you have been writing the same song, but just not listening to the same melody. You understand? People can write the same lyrics to a song, but have very different melodies to them. Okay, that's what I'm being guided to say, that's what that is. And then this card here with new life, this card also has a face, and I don't know how much I can, let me just take a really good look at this card. Okay, she's wearing clothes, so hopefully we don't get in trouble. She's not naked. She's coming out of this little shell here. But also, if you look closely, there's a face here. On this side, there's a face right here also within this card. So let me look at this card and see what else I get. This is number 39. There's a face here too. So for a lot of you, this has to do with a new life. Like this is going to be your new life. And I feel like it's with this person. Because this face that's in this card is also the same face as in this card. I feel like for some of you, something physically has changed for you, Sagittarius. Whether it be you've went on an exercise journey or a weight loss journey or, you know, kind of whatever that is, it was that. You know what I'm saying? So something changed about you. You woke up one day and you said, you know what, I'm going to go for a new life. And oftentimes when we have a disconnected, like love connection with someone, we can't stay in the past and hope to manifest what we started with, what we hoped for. Sometimes it has to be something that's completely new, something that's completely different. With the same person, just new energy. Okay, so, all right. You get it. All right. So loves. Learn what love is. Find someone with whom you want nothing less than to spend to get life together. To achieve this, you will know your love is real and true when making love means something new, when holding hands or sharing hugs can satisfy your need for love. Until you both feel this is true, it's just romance, not love for you. Okay. So let's read that again. You'll know your love is real and true when making love means something new. When holding hands or sharing hugs can satisfy your need for love. Until you both feel this true, it's just romance, not love for you. Okay. Oh, okay. So it's more along the lines of saying that you may have met this person in a lustful situation, Sagittarius, where maybe the two of you hooked up very quickly. The two of you probably, you know, went from like 0 to 100 very quickly, and then it just kind of fizzled out. Because maybe that part of the connection was really good. But then it was kind of like, all right, well, what else is there? But there was more of like a shocking connection and how easy it happened, how quickly it happened, and not just because it was, that's what it, like two teenagers, like, oh, we just hook up and that's it. You know, obviously we're talking about adults here, but it happened very quickly. And then I feel like this person felt something. You felt something, Sagittarius, where this was a little bit more than just a casual hookup or just something like that. You felt it to be a little bit more. And they felt it to be a little bit more, but it never really quite got off the ground. It's an unfinished symphony. And you'll know it's love. And if it's not with this person, you'll know that it's love when you've spent so much time connecting with each other and going deeper on a deeper level. And I'm not talking about the surface stuff. I'm not talking about, oh, we really get along really well when we go food shopping together, or we're just so in sync with what we need to do, you know, in our personal lives, where we just agree on everything. We like the same shows, you know, that's I'm talking, this is beyond that. Because that's surface level stuff. And let me tell you something, all right? A lot of that stuff is really good to make people feel comfortable with themselves. Okay? But also at the same time, you don't, is what a lot of people don't realize about love and about spiritual connection. A lot of that stuff doesn't even happen on the physical realm. A lot of that stuff happens in the spiritual realm, and you just don't even know it. You just don't even know it. I feel for whoever I'm speaking to, Sagittarius, you and the person that you have this unfinished symphony with have more of a metaphysical spiritual bond than you do a physical bond, where you don't even have to be near this person to understand how they feel. You don't have to be able to even call this person or text this person to call them in. You put the feeling out there and they will come. It doesn't even have to be a phone call or a text. They will find a way to soothe your soul and to meet up with you and match up with you no matter where you are. That is the definition of a true soulmate. Because they resonate, not a soulmate where, oh, we get along so well together. You know, we like the same music, we like the same car, we like everything together. Everything is perfectly together. And I just don't understand what went wrong. Because this person didn't vibrationally match with your soul. If you lost this person or you broke up, that's what people really need to understand in this time. Okay. Cool. We got that out of the way. Just to say that. Okay. Spirit would like for me to read for you a new life, which is this card here, a new life. So let me see. Did I take that out? Yes, I did. Thank you. All right, so it's number 39. I'm going to read to it. And we're going to see what's going to happen. 39. Oh, my God. I opened right up. I opened right up to it. Thank you. Essential meeting, birth of new ideas, growth, opportunities, a breath of fresh air, life renewing itself. When spring awakens the world, joy and excitement can be felt all around and in every core. Blossoms burst from trees overnight, birds return home and sing their glorious song. And nature is full of promise, miracles beckon all of us. This is one of those times in your life when new ideas inspire you and new opportunities bring you hope for seeing your future come true. All is well in your world, and you have the energy you need to feel renewed. Allow your heart to fill with enthusiasm. Let your light shine, for this is a time of good fortune. This is a relationship message. New energy enters old relationships. Oh, see, I told you. And new relationships are bursting with the sweetness and vibrancy only encountered when winter gives way to spring. This is a time to connect with others and share excitement, passion, and hearts full of joy. This card is a very auspicious sign with respect to love and partnerships in all forms. And the prosperity message is this. You have every reason to be optimistic right now, as things seem to fall into place magically. New opportunities remind you that abundance is available to you. Delight in the bounty that begins to appear in surprising forms. Stay curious and know that your hopes and dreams are being fulfilled. It's as if new life suddenly infuses your projects, work, and creative ideas with a kind of electricity that crackles with exciting potential. Fortune is smiling on you and your protection message. You must acknowledge your inexperience and gently allow yourself to be like the delicate new bud opening. It's okay to admit you may not know something. You are at the beginning of things and haven't yet hit your stride. Be immersed in the newness of it all, and don't try to rush the learning process. New life has its own timetable for maturity. Be here now. Life loves you. Okay? So this is asking you pretty much for that. We're going to with that to enjoy the moment and don't bring old experiences with you on this new path. You have been cleansed. You have been reborn. It's almost as if you don't have a past anymore. It's almost as if you tried to remember your past. Like, for example, the other day I was hanging out with a couple people. They're not necessarily from my past, but they started talking about old times. Old people that I used to talk to, or people that I had minor quarrels with. And these, honestly, to tell you the truth, I had forgotten about these people. I had forgotten about them. Which means that, and these were people who had caused some pretty serious chaotic moments in my life and emotional upsets in my life. And I was a little upset that they were being brought up again. But it reminded me, because I had to struggle for a second to really remember why I was upset or why I was angry. And I said to myself in defense that, and then I said, you know what, stop it. Like, I really don't care about these people. Like, I had actually forgotten about them. Like, they're not at the forefront. And you cannot allow your your persona or the perception of you to be shaped off of what other people have said about you and what other people think about you. And if you find yourself around that where, where somebody, and another thing that had bothered me was that I was hanging out with a friend, and her boyfriend was with us, and we had gotten into an argument about how fast he was driving. And I felt very nervous. I had a lot of anxiety. I'm sitting in the back seat helpless. I can't, you're driving like almost 60, 70, 80 miles an hour, and it's a little scary, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of aggression that I could feel coming from him, and just a lot of this. So I said something, and it turns into like an argument with him screaming at me. And, I was very upset. I was very nervous. And of course, my friend went back and told another friend that I was the one that got into a fight with her boyfriend. And I said, I defended myself, and I said, listen, it was not me. I didn't say anything, nothing, until he calmed down. So I wasn't showing aggression, and I wasn't showing an argument. So when you turn around and you say, oh, how people can define you for how you were in your past. And this isn't something that you necessarily want to happen, because you're getting a new life. So if anyone were to come to you and say, and try to bring it forward and say to you, oh, well, you used to do this, or you used to say that, or, oh, you're dating this person, but what about the past, or what about this other person? That's why you have to be very careful with who you talk to and who you're friends with and who knows your personal business. Because they're always going to define you based off of your past. So what's going to start happening is that you're going to find in this time that your slate is actually going to start being wiped clean. Where these old relationships, these old dynamics, these old stories are all going to fade away. And you're going to be thinking to yourself, wow, people don't actually know who I am. Like people, and it's not like that people don't know you. It's just that they defined you in a definition that's based off of their perception. But your perception and the perception of the new world that you're walking in no longer fits that narrative. So you're able to set yourself free from that and move forward. And if a lot of these people, because if you take notice, there's nobody else on this card. There's no people clapping or applauding or anything like that. Like, this is just your solo journey. Okay? All right. Good. So we got that out of the way. Even though I told a little bit more of like a personal story. But I'm just going to leave that story. I'm going to leave that story there because it's, it's just a way for me to explain what this is. Okay. So let's pull some energy on your person, Sagittarius. Let's get a couple of cards to see where they're at mentally and how they're thinking and feeling about you. Oh, wow, look at that. Okay, so we have material and spiritual prosperity. We have solitude. And we have disruption. Okay, which is exactly, and I know that this may look like a pretty scary card, and if I were to read it, it kind of is. But I'm just gonna go with what I'm being guided to say about the messages within them, because some of these cards I know how they should, what the definition of them mean in the book, but also just kind of like what I'm getting. This person is calling in their abundance. This person is calling in. You see how I said before that, you should go and look out from to a body of water and just release what you've been holding on to, like going to the beach and or going to a pond or a lake or something like that to, release your old energies. Do you notice how this is in the picture? Okay, just saying, okay? So this person is shedding an old belief about themselves and what they're thinking, and they're thinking about you at the same time. Hold on one second, I need to shut this off. Okay, sorry. Somebody was calling. What they're thinking and feeling about you, material and spiritual prosperity. So you may have shown this person some knowledge. You may have shown this person some knowledge that they needed to see, because, you know, and this is something that comes from inside of you. This isn't something that comes from a book. This is something that comes from inside of you, like almost as if it's like a download. You see the star in the back? It's almost as if it's like a downloaded message from spirit for you to know, for you to translate outside of you. So you must have said something to this person that kind of like rocked their world, that made them start to be a little bit more spiritual. So you could be somebody who's like a spiritual teacher. You could be like me, a psychic, a medium, someone that's just into spirituality, spiritual growth, spiritual counselor like me, like something like that, where you're just now, or you're a spiritual being having a human experience, and you were downloaded a message that, or it's something inside of you where the two of you experience this. Maybe on the spiritual realm, the two of you actually looked inside the Akashic records and saw, wow, there was a story about us. There was a connection about the two of us. Maybe the both of you finally joined up on the spiritual realm and took a look in the book to see the story that was written, the path that was there, to give this a big, like, this is okay. Like, it's okay for the two of you to be together on the physical this time around. So a lot of this, there's been a lot of mental shifts that this person has witnessed you go through, Sagittarius, on the physical. Because they see you shifting and changing and allowing things to fall away, and you don't have that same energy anymore. Whereas where they may have met you, you were, discombobulated, sad, or angry, or kind of still fighting your way through a certain path, but you're not there anymore. You're not doing that anymore. Now you're different. And they recognize that on the physical because they already felt it in the spiritual. Okay? So we're going to use a different deck to get Sagittarius' feelings on this person. I hear that song, Here and Now. I don't know that song. I think it's called Here and Now. You're all I need. So if you know that song, go listen. I think it's Lionel Richie, I think. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's the song I hear. It's an old song. It's an 80s song. Here and Now. All right. How is Sagittarius thinking and feeling about their person? This is a new deck, so it's a little bit slippery. And they're bigger. I wanted the bigger deck, but now I kind of regret it because they're a little bit hard to shuffle. Woo! That flew out. King of Pentacles in reverse. King of Cups in reverse. Why is this whole deck in reverse? I just gotta like flip it, I guess. I don't know. Alright. I know reversals have meanings, but I like to look at the card upright, especially if there's pictures in here. Sagittarius, so how you're thinking and feeling about them. So this could be actually two people in your energy, not just one, where you have Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn in you, because it's the King of Pentacles and the King of Cups. So you actually may have two guys or two kings, if you're a female, whatever, however you want to look at it, in your energy. And with this Page of Pentacles, especially because the Page of Pentacles was in reverse. Oh, I see. So because the King of Pentacles was in reverse, the King of Cups shot out. He was in the upright, okay? So because the King of Pentacles in reverse, if we're going to go by zodiac signs, or somebody who's older, you may have rejected someone who was a little bit more mature for somebody who was a little bit more emotionally available, a little bit more playful, because they're coming in, the Page of Pentacles, like a little bit more childish, a little bit more playful. But I also feel like this is a shedding of those options. When you're looking at dating from a perspective of a younger person, like say someone who's like 21, 25, whatever, you know that you have a lot of options. You know that you have a lot of years and a lot of time before you actually make that decision as to who you want to settle down with. And I feel like because this was in the reverse, I'm getting that you don't, this is the one that you want. Like, you've chosen the one that you want. You want to take this energy. I'm going to read the reversal like this, that you've chosen this Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay? Sagittarius. This is the one that you've chosen. You've made this choice. I don't want any other option but this person. And that's a solid stance, is what Spirit's telling me. You made a solid stance. This is what I choose. Yes, I can still be, okay, the Nine of Pentacles. I can still be single, solid, stable. Not single, solid, stable, but, you know, solid and stable on my own. I can still be that, but I choose this. And you know what else I just noticed about this card? Is that this woman here is so abundant that she can afford to share. Okay, she's giving this coin here, this pentacle, to this bird to come fly over and let this one know, hey, I got a table for us. Why don't you come over? You know, I've got some, like, you're putting that out there, that you want to start to create this. So this is actually a beautiful energy, Sagittarius. This is actually pretty amazing. Okay, so what could be the expected outcome for this? What is the expected outcome of this? You want this one? Okay. They want a different deck that's not out here, so just give me a second to open it up. Oh, we're almost at like half an hour. Time goes by so quickly. Time goes by so quickly when you do these readings. So I have the Oracle of Visions. I may not be able to show the card because I know that some of these cards do contain some images of, you know, goes against community guidelines. That's why it's hard to do these. Okay. Ooh, okay. So I don't think that this would be terrible, but it's a man. He's sitting at a chessboard. He's got a kitten next to him. He's got a cage full of butterflies. And one of the butterflies that he's looking at. So this is literally the epitome of the expression, if you love it, let it go. And if it comes back to you, it's yours. It's yours. Okay? Now, when you look at this card, now I'm going to try to cover this up the best that I can so we don't get in trouble. When you look at this card, when you look at the butterfly, right? It's your perception. Is the butterfly going or is the butterfly coming? Now, if you look at the cat looks like, you know, it's looking at the butterfly coming back into the cage. Okay, if you look at it that way, right? But it could also be, is the butterfly coming or is it going? I perceive it as the butterfly is coming back because look at the look on the character's face. Okay? Where they're like, wow, I can't believe that you came back. But there's also other butterflies in this cage. So it could be that by the time the two of you get together, this other person may have dated other people or had a couple of different options in the cage, and then now you're the one that came back. You came back. So that would trump out all the other options and choices that this person had. And the chessboard is interesting also because it's almost like checkmate. It's almost kind of like, I feel like this person doesn't want to take the chance and gamble and lose you. Like, you play a game of chess. All right, slow down. When you play a game of chess, you could sit there at the table, you could keep playing each other, checkmate. I just keep hearing checkmate, checkmate, checkmate. Like, it's almost like a dance of moves that the two of you are doing together where it's like, all right, you're not coming to me right now. You're not coming back to me right now. So I'm going to wait to see if you come back to me. But that doesn't make any sense because you're kind of right there waiting. But if this person doesn't make a move quick, Sag is going to like take off. You know what I mean? If you don't make a move quick, Sag is going to take off because you're still going to think that, all right, I know that this is my person. We're tied together in the spiritual realm and we know this about each other. But yet you're still not coming towards me. Like, okay, I'm going to do something different and I'm actually going to move on with my life. But in the end, in the grand scheme of things, you end up flying right back into this person's cage. But you don't want to be caged. You don't want to just be another option for them. And if that's the way it's going to be, then, you'll walk away. So hopefully, this person will make the right choice and not do that. Not kind of like lure you back into their cage. Let me see what else I could get back on this. This person may be a cat lover. Sunflowers are up in the corner of this. That may be significant. I think we need to read that card just to see what it means. Card number 24. Let's see if we can interpret it, because just by the image, it's a little weird. Okay. Letting go, offering a way out. Truly loving another means letting go of all expectations. It means full acceptance, even celebration of another's personhood. Have the courage to set it free. If it flies away, it was never truly yours. If it returns of its own free will, then you know for sure it was yours. See, I was right about what this meant. Such is the old adage regarding a loved one. To truly love and be loved, love has to be given and returned freely and unconditionally. This image captures that moment of release. Will the butterfly return or leave through the open window? It is a poignant moment and one of courage for the girl who has released the butterfly, but is herself a prisoner. Her scenario is symbolically represented by the chess pieces. The analogy of imprisonment can of course be applied to self-incarceration. We are often prisoners trapped in a cell of our own making, either by fear, perceptions of duty, or loyalty to causes or people. Whether caring for a loved one or feeling trapped by financial, medical, or any other such circumstances can represent an emotional imprisonment as real as any barred window. Okay. So it's like, you don't want to be... I love this deck. I should definitely use it more. I think for right now, I'm just going to take it as the two of you may let each other go to see if you come back. So like I said, Sagittarius, there may be another choice for you that's going to come into your energy. Even though you've made a solid decision that the earth sign is the one you want to be with, I do feel ultimately in the end, like in the middle of this, you're going to find that there's someone else that's going to come into your energy. And you may be with this person for a couple months, maybe a year, and then you're going to have the option to see, do I want to go back to my person? Do I want to go back to the person that set me free? So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Lots of beautiful messages here. I absolutely love it. So we'll see what happens. Sagittarius, of course, I'm available for private readings if you would like to do that. You can visit my website at www.kristentinsley.com and you can schedule a private reading with me. And we'll get more detailed information about your personal situation and what's going on in your life. But in the meantime, stay tuned, and I hope to see you at another reading. Take care, Sag. Bye-bye.